Everybody, this is Andrew from T is for Tech, and today I'm taking a look at another mini PC. So this is a mini gaming PC from a company called ACEMAGICIAN. Now I've done a few other videos on ACEMAGICIAN mini PCs on the channel before. One was a ACEMAGICIAN brand, I believe it was a TK11, linked to the card above, and then also another Ryzen powered mini PC by their child company Camrui, which I'll also link to above. So far, all of those have been just really awesome machines. So I'm super excited to take a look at this one as well. As you can see, it comes in a box. Like I said, this is the AMR5. The other machines, the other PCs were more marketed towards like kind of general use with some light gaming. This one is more marketed towards gaming. As you'll see, there's some additional features and things like that. It's gray in color. This is a 16 gigabyte RAM configuration with the 512 SSD. And obviously it's configured for US. I'm based in the US. And that's what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox this and then talk a little bit about the specs as we go through. Now, immediately what I like about this one is the presentation is actually a lot nicer than the other ones. You get a nicer box. Has this silk screen kind of outline of what the machine looks like. There's a little graphic insert here, talks about it. Now what's kind of cool, and we'll talk about this as well, is this has switchable modes, right? So there's a switch on the machine, part of like the power switch, that you can change the mode of it. So basically the performance mode. So there's three modes, right? So silent, auto, and performance, and we'll go over what those mean. Has dual channel DDR RAM and dual SSD slot. So, and this is the PC itself. Get a small user manual. Obviously, probably just going to have some information there. They also give you a little bit of memory compatibility list. So for popular memory brands, Kingston, Samsung, ADATA, that sort of thing. Also have an HDMI cable and a power adapter. Probably like the other ones, this is a 65 watt power adapter, the US spec plug, and this plastic just kind of comes right off, this plastic film on both sides. And this is what the machine looks like. So overall, it's kind of cool. It has a little different aesthetic than the other ones, which are more kind of like square, sit on the desk, flat sort of things. This one is more like, it's like shaped like an A almost, like a short, kind of short A, and you stand it on your desk like that. So you're standing it on the desk like this. It's got rubber feet on the bottom, and then the side has this kind of like design here where you'll be able to see some RGB lighting shining through when it's on. So on the front you have a Type-C port, USB, two USB 3s, has an audio jack there, as you can see. It's probably microphone. It's the power switch itself, so it's like a push power, so you push it in, turn it on, and then it kind of rotates, right? So if you see on the top, it's got the silent mode, auto mode, and performance mode. And in the silent mode, it's going to run at about 10 to 15 watts of power. So that kind of throttles the machine to keep it a little cooler. So if you're just, I don't know, probably doing light work, light office type work, or just regular desktop, you just leave it in silent so then the fans don't go on, so it doesn't get very hot. Basically, that's what it does. Auto will give you 15 to 20 watts of power, and it kind of auto adjusts based on that. And then performance will go up to the higher end of what the chip can handle, which is 20 to 25 watts of power. That's in the stock configuration. Again, this is the AMD Ryzen 7 5800U. It's Zen 3 architecture, has 8 cores and 16 threads, and a max boost clock speed of 4.4 gigahertz. I mean, I guess this is a laptop CPU, right? So they're repurposing for these mini PCs. Has AMD Radeon graphics. And so for the Radeon, it's a Radeon RX Vega8 graphics, running at basically 2000 megahertz, so 2 gigahertz. And I think I said this comes with 16 gigs of RAM, DDR4. The way that this works is it actually has this side panel that just pops off. So pretty cool. as opposed to some of the other ones where you'd have to actually unscrew the bottom of the case and pull off the case. This one just magnetically attaches. Super simple to get access to this. And as you can see, there's two M2 SSD slots at the top. One is filled up. I don't know what brand SSD this is because they do have a heatsink on it. So this has 16 gigs of RAM, and these are using Lexar RAM here, so at least a name brand that I know of. So in here, there's 2 sticks of 8 gig DDR4 3200 RAM, and it supports up to 64, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and overall, so you have quick access to that. So like I said, this is a 512 gigabyte NVMe SSD and has support for 2. On the back side, you do have RJ45 1 gigabit LAN port. This has built-in Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2. Also has an additional 2 USB 3 ports on the back, a display port, HDMI port, and like I said, LAN port and a power plug, power port. Now this does support up to 3 monitors if you do use the USB-C on the front for that additional monitor, so you can plug USB-C, DisplayPort, and HDMI. So I don't know if you can actually I can't really see on the inside here, and you probably won't be able to. I don't know, maybe you can catch a glimpse of some copper color in there. But this does have a pretty sizable, high-efficiency cooling system. So they have what they call a high-tech copper alloy module and a high-speed cooling fan. So that'll help with heat dissipation. And it's very helpful in the performance mode. Like I said, the RGB lighting, there's a couple different modes you can set on there for whatever your gaming mood might be. Yeah, and overall, just super compact, super lightweight, super small PC. This also does come with a 18-month worry-free warranty, 24-hour customer service using their WhatsApp customer service chat, and lifetime technical support. So again, ACEMAGICIAN, they've been doing this for a long time. They make some really compelling machines and computers. I've been super happy with the ones I've tested out before, and so I'm sure this one's not going to have any problem actually knocking those out of the water, because this does has the Ryzen 7 chip, whereas the other ones, there was an Intel Core i7 and Ryzen 5. So this one certainly should be much more performant in a gaming scenario. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to jump over to the computer. I'm going to go ahead and set this up, get it all kind of ready, and do some performance tests, do the same sort of things I've done in the past. So run some PC speedmark, benchmark tests, Geekbench, all those sorts of things. Get something like Fortnite on here, some other game maybe, and just kind of go through and try to give you some realistic frames per second in different gaming modes. Like I said, actually, capture the scores from the GPU and CPU on this, and kind of go over some of my thoughts on the playability of this. Again, more focused in a gaming scenario. So let's jump over to the computer and continue over there. So I just wanted to show really quick here. This is what it looks like when it's on. So you can see the top, the ACEMAGICIAN logo has got the RGB lighting. The sides also have some RGB lighting. The front power button lights up as well. So this is kind of the aesthetic you're going to get when the machine is booting or it's on with the RGB lighting. And then here I just ran a crystal disk mark test, and I sped this up like 2000% so you wouldn't have to wait, but it gets pretty decent read-write speeds on the SSD. And then here I went and ran Geekbench, and you can see it had a 1968 single core score and a 7823 multi-core score, which is pretty good actually for a machine like this, I think. Outperformed the other 2 that I've done on the channel before, the one with the Core i7 and the one with the Ryzen 5. So this one definitely is the most performant out of the 3 now mini PCs that I've taken a look at. And then this also got a 16,792 OpenCL score, also running Geekbench, which again, I think for a computer of this size and this type of machine, it's really good. And then I also used PC benchmarks and ran the user benchmark. Now, this one is a little bit more, I guess, iffy on the gaming and the workstation ratings. It kind of scored it pretty low, kind of like in that raft and surfboard range, which not the greatest from this score perspective, but just in overall desktop performance, desktop machine, it ranked it as a nuclear submarine, which is pretty good. It's closer to the top end of the scale. And yeah, I mean, this test I never really feel is a super great representation of the actual performance for whatever reason, but this is power performed, right? So raft nuclear submarine. And then here I just had was booting up Fortnite for the first time in performance mode and just kind of watching the intro video here on my LG monitor. So this is a 43-inch monitor. And here, I mean, obviously this is just a video that it's playing, but the quality was really pretty good and no stuttering or anything like that. So here I had the settings, kind of auto settings, when I went in there and just clicked the auto, and I think set most of the things to medium, which was probably a little bit too high because the frame rate is pretty low here. It's in the 30s or some low 30s, high 20s. And when I jump around in the gameplay, I'll show some different settings that I was trying out to get a little bit higher frame rate and things like that. So here, I don't know what happened. I'm going to blame it on my mouse was lagging for whatever reason, and that guy just totally wasted me. So here's another version where I was playing on 720p and I had unlimited FPS set, so just seeing how it would bounce around depending on the gameplay and things like that. And as you can see, I'll let this play out a little bit. So here I had it kind of locked back at 30 frames a second and just was testing out again a few different settings. I mean, it's very playable. I really don't know how I didn't get shot or killed right there. At this point, I'm really not even trying. I was just trying to see like how the game reacts, but I also suck at aiming. So hopefully the tests and a little bit of that Fortnite gameplay gives you an idea of how this machine will perform. And it definitely performed better than the other ones that I've taken a look at in the past. The Ryzen 7 CPU in this is actually really pretty good. Hopefully, as you've seen from the benchmark test and the gaming that I just kind of did a little bit of highlights on. So definitely worth a look if you're looking for something mini PC size that also has some decent gaming abilities. If you have any questions, go ahead and post those below. This is Andrew from T is for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.